Orphaned at a tender age, she found solace in the love of her father William, a wealthy nobleman. Despite her father's doting affection, Mildred could not shake off the loneliness and sorrow that had engulfed her after the passing of her mother, Elizabeth. She spent her days wandering her father's vast estate in the nearby woods, foraging for mushrooms and wildflowers to decorate her room as her mother had done, longing for the warmth of her mother's love. One fateful day, as she sat by a bubbling stream that ran through the woods, a strange rattling sound broke the serene quiet of the forest, giving her quite a fright.
Who's there?
An almost tangible stillness. From the shadows emerged a creature of breathtaking beauty, a majestic, mystical blue bird. Its feathers shimmered like sapphires, each one catching the light and scattering it in a cascade of glistening hues with each subtle sway. Beside this divine creature appeared an ancient woman cloaked in a colorful robe. Her weathered face, etched with the lines of countless years, radiated a timeless wisdom. Her eyes, twin pools of ancient magic, held secrets of the universe.
My name is Zelda, and this is Alco, the guardian of magic. What is your name, child? Do not be afraid, Mildred. I will not harm you. Alco has chosen you. Every decade, Alco sheds 4 magical feathers. Each feather holds the power to grant one wish, if the wish comes from a heart pure of intent.
Few years passed, and Mildred's father eventually remarried. Elisa, a beautiful widow with fiery red hair and a charming smile, she brought her young daughter Molly into the family. Mildred, thrilled at the prospect of a sister and a new mother, welcomed them with open arms. While Molly and Mildred grew close, Elisa's warmth toward Mildred faded. Cold indifference turned to thinly veiled disdain, as Elisa's jealousy of Mildred's natural beauty and kind spirit festered. Mildred, however, remained kind and patient, her father's continued affection shielding her from Elisa's envy and unkindness. When Elisa bore a son, Edward, the household's attention shifted. A radiant beacon, he lit up the household with his infectious laughter and mischievous grin. As he grew, his charm and good looks made him the apple of everyone's eye. Yet fate, a cruel mistress, had other plans. While their father was far away, a shadow descended upon their idyllic existence.
This is my video generated with InVideo. Hi there, and welcome to my channel. I'm a beginner content creator and children's book writer, and this is my second video, my first being the animation you're watching right now. I wanted to explore animated videos and faceless YouTube channels, so I decided to give InVideo a try. This is my honest review, what worked, what didn't, and what I learned along the way. Like most beginners, I started by watching a ton of videos about faceless channels and animation. After a lot of research, InVideo kept popping up as one of the most recommended tools. I thought, why not? This could be my chance to bring my stories to life and try my hand at YouTube. I opted for the text-to-video AI animated 3D video generation and signed up for a paid subscription. While most content creators were converting images into videos, I wanted something simple, an app that could turn my text into video, add subtitles, and generate voiceovers automatically. Sounded perfect, right? So, that's how I landed on InVideo. Now, let me walk you through my experience, the challenges, limitations, and final outcome. Getting started with InVideo. InVideo offers subscription plans from $0 to $120 per month. I started with the $25 package, the minimum paid plan, and got straight to creating. My first test? A simple paragraph from my story. And that's when I hit my first hurdle. The AI didn't generate my script exactly as I wrote it. I expected InVideo to generate my script word for word, but instead, it changed parts of my story. If you already have a specific story in mind, you need a well-crafted prompt to make sure the AI stays true to your original version. I had to tweak my prompt on ChatGPT multiple times to get it to capture my story properly, especially for direct speech. Without refining the prompt, the AI would just create a bland narration instead of an engaging animated story. Shout out to Jeff Su for his awesome tips on prompt generation. One issue I didn't anticipate was the lack of lip syncing. The characters in my animation didn't match the voiceover at all, making it look unnatural. I don't know if InVideo has a lip sync feature, but if it does, I couldn't figure it out. If you know how to fix this, drop a comment and let me know. Some of the AI-generated scenes looked great, but many didn't match my story, meaning I had to go in and replace a lot of them. The problem? Every time I modified the video or script, it used up more credits. Some YouTubers suggested that InVideo lets you edit videos without extra costs, but that wasn't my experience. Modifying a video doesn't just edit the existing one, it regenerates additional scenes, some of which were again unusable. Like the clips running on the screen. Editing was also a challenge because you can only adjust the scenes generated, not the character. I tried to remove Hayden's beard with no success. This made the editing process frustrating because sometimes there weren't good replacements available. Another major downside was the cost. I spent a total of $120 just to complete a 10-minute video. The basic plan couldn't generate the full video, so I had to keep upgrading. For a beginner, that's a lot of money just for one video. Character consistency was another challenge. Hayden, the Duke, started off looking handsome, then mysteriously grew a beard halfway through. Outfits weren't consistent either. Even though my script described a blue lace-trimmed dress, the AI gave me different styles across various scenes. Some characters looked drastically different from one scene to another. I don't know if this happened because I didn't give detailed character descriptions in my prompts or if it's just a flaw in InVideo's AI. Once an image was generated, I couldn't change specific details, only swap entire scenes. Some AI-generated scenes just didn't make sense, and I realized so many of the clips generated were unusable either because the characters were totally different or the actions didn't make sense, which wasted the credits. I think users should be charged based on what they download and utilize, not what is generated, because so many of the clips generated were not used. An example of poor interpretation of the command is where my character runs to a clock, then runs back, then looks stressed. I have no clue how the AI interpreted my story that way. The AI didn't always get numbers right either. I thought numbers like 4 were universally understood, but apparently not. In some cases, it got it right, while in others, it just did its own thing. Now to what actually worked well. InVideo is easy to use, and one thing I have to give InVideo credit for is the voiceover feature. The AI-generated narration was clear, well-paced, and perfectly synced with the script. Even after replacing clips, I didn't have to trim pauses or adjust timing. The generation speed was also impressive. However, because I had to keep upgrading to finish my video, it left me wondering, how many human minutes is 150 AI minutes? How are they calculated? If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. Final test, audience reactions. I showed the final video to my target audience, children. My 6-year-old son loved it. My 12-year-old daughter asked if the characters could talk, which I assume meant lip-syncing. The video also had a lot of still photos in motion, and not animated. This was regrettable, especially at the beginning of the video. My 17-year-old son also enjoyed it, knowing it was my first try at animation. One common critique? Some characters looked scary. Considering this was a fairy tale, I wasn't expecting that. AI-generated characters often have weird facial expressions, and I noticed a lot of them had eyes that were plainly scary. My final thoughts are: downloading was easy, and the final quality was decent. However, the cost was way too high. InVideo's AI is promising, but it still needs work in character consistency, better editing control, and lip-syncing improvements. I'm planning part 2 of my story, but I'm really worried about character consistency since it'll be a separate project. If that doesn't work, I may have to remake both parts as a single video and split them later. If this video makes $120, I'll fund part 2. Otherwise, I'll rethink my approach. Let me know in the comments, can you lip-sync characters in InVideo? Have you tried AI animation? What was your experience? How can I improve my AI prompts for better results? I've linked my animation video in the description, check it out. Comment, like and share.